We're talking with Ted Torres today here, everybody. One of the big questions I always like to ask the ETAs is, we know you love Elvis, but we always ask people, what's on your iPod when you're not listening to Elvis? Who does Ted Torres listen to when he's not listening to Elvis?
Oh, man. I am all over the place, really.
Right.
I mean, Elvis, number one for me. But I have so much stuff in there. Frank Sinatra, of course, Dean Martin, Bobby Darin. I'm a huge Bobby Darin fan.
Great artist.
Sammy Davis Jr., big fan of all the classics.
Right.
Then a lot of old blues, a lot of 70s rock, a lot of
Right.
late 60s rock. What else? And then I like alternative music
Right.
from the 90s.
Cool.
And I like a lot of British pop from the 90s and the 2000s, early 2000s, and a lot of country. Even classical, because I studied classical music as well.
Right.
So even classical music, you name it, man. It's very versatile with the whole music thing. I'm all over the spectrum.
Two things I've learned about you from talking to other people, and the one I'm definitely saying is true. On stage, you were on, but off stage, you're kind of a quiet, shy type of guy. Is that true? I mean, I'm seeing it right now. I seem to see
I've always been pretty shy,
Right.
kind of introverted. So yeah, that's been me since I was a kid.
Right.
So how do you turn it on when you get on the stage? What's your process?
You know what helped out, and honestly, to tell you the truth, was acting school.
Okay.
I studied acting for a couple of years, and that helped a lot. When people tell you, just get up there and flip that switch.
Yeah.
It's not a lie. It kind of happens, and I try to get up there and portray Elvis, and as soon as my foot hits that stage, it turns on. But at the same time, I like the way I like it to come across. I like for people to see Elvis as a human being as well, and just his personality and everything, and from what I've been told from a lot of the people that worked with him, I've been lucky enough to work with them over the years and be friends with a lot of them. And a lot of them kind of, supported me getting into this area of the industry, and they kind of pushed me into it. They say that my personality is a lot like his, except he was a little bit crazier than me.
Right.
So that helps, I guess, so, yeah.
Yeah, I heard you mention yesterday Gordon Stoker and DJ Fontana. You got to know these guys pretty well, huh?
Yes, they were really good friends of mine, both of them, and some of the guys in the industry that have been doing it as long as I've been doing it. Got to know them. I got to know them pretty well because I think I got to spend a little bit extra time with them over the years. Certain events that we did together, and we just became really good friends. And Gordon was really instrumental in encouraging me, and always had encouraging words for me, and we had a lot of great talks.
Right.
DJ too, and DJ was extremely funny, and he was just an amazing human being. They both were, and a lot of these guys that worked with Elvis, I got to know over the years, and a lot of them are gone, and I missed them all very much. Very lucky that I came into the industry at a time that I did, where a lot of them, I feel like they kind of did take me under the wing, and even though it wasn't like an extremely public thing, just it's my own little personal thing that I have that I'll always carry with me, and they were so great to me, and I always loved them for it, and I'll always miss them.
And what a thrill it must have been to be on stage with those guys, knowing,
Oh yeah.
So you've been overseas in a lot of the other countries,
Yeah,
and
a lot.
I thought, as a fan, what that must feel like for you as an entertainer, because Elvis never got to do that. You're doing something he really wanted to do,
Yes.
and the fans really wanted him, and so you're bringing them something very special, and I'm just wondering what that feels like when you go over there.
Yeah, it feels great because that's what I've always said. To me, doing this, I'm a songwriter, I'm a musician, and that's what I was trying to do before this dragged me away, but I'm still trying to do that, and I'm still trying to push that a little bit. I just finished recording a single actually, but with the Elvis thing and traveling overseas, I always tell people I feel Elvis couldn't do it, and I feel like I'm doing it for him.
Yeah.
And I just love him so much and his music, and that's the way I feel about it. And I'm always so happy when I get asked to be overseas and come out there and just to give him my 150% You know,
And how do the fans respond? What's their response? I mean, I've seen the videos, but
they're great. They're fantastic.
excited,
You know, and they're all different too. That's the thing. They all appreciate it in their own way. I remember an instance. I performed in Singapore, and I performed for the president of Singapore. And,
wow.
well, I visited his home actually, and then I went and did an event. And everybody was so quiet, and I'm like, wow, man, they're not really digging the show at all. But they were appreciating it. They were soaking it in. They were just taking it all in. And when I finished, it was like an explosion. They all stood up. They were all clapping. And so everywhere you go, it's different. You know,
Right.
it's you can't really judge while you're up there. You got to wait till the end of the show because everybody does it in their own way. But it's always great, though. So many Elvis fans all over the world. It's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
touched everybody.
So tell us about a Ted Torres show. Like yesterday, you were focused on the 1970. That's the way it is thing.
Yeah.
If you had full control, and you do when you do your shows, what is a typical Ted Torres show like? What are we going to hear as far as Elvis and all that?
Oh, man. You know, I'm the guy that likes to sing a lot of songs that you don't hear often.
We love that.
Yeah,
we love it.
Yeah, so, you know, sometimes, you know, people tell me, why are you singing those songs that nobody knows? I'm like, because my show is a little bit different where I take my show as kind of like an educational type of tool to teach people, educate them in songs that Elvis did that you don't hear very often, stories that you don't hear very often that I've gathered personally throughout the years from friends and family, or things that I've read, because I've read so much about Elvis in my life. So I try to educate people. I like to give them a little crash course.
It's funny you said that because I told you there's two things we heard about you. We learned about you before we talked to you.
Yeah.
One was the Shy Ted. The other was the Ted the History book when it comes to Elvis. That you know your stuff.
Yeah.
I know a lot, yeah.
Details, yeah.
Yeah.
Details. So, Ted, tell us about Ted the songwriter.
Oh, man. I've been writing since I was in my probably late teens, probably. And a lot of songs. They're not all good, but you know, it's like there's a lot of them that have potential and have had potential. I almost got signed to a major label quite a couple of years back, but I turned it down because of the deal that they were giving me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the right decision or not, but you know, I wasn't going to let anybody take control of my music. You know?
So there will come a day when you take the sideburns off and you are no longer an ETA. Is that where we will go next then? Continue to try to...
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people don't realize it, but a lot of people do know. I have long hair.
Right.
And
I have no hair.
Well, I
wish you had hair.
I had long hair when I was a kid too, and I cut it in between, you know,
Yeah.
every other year or whatever, every couple of years. But when I'm on stage, it's a totally different thing with the Elvis thing. You know, it's like a theatrical approach. We're beautiful lace front wigs, and you can't tell that it's not my hair because everything
Right.
looks absolutely real.
Yeah.
But when I'm done, my long hair comes out. I'm Ted the songwriter, the musician, and like I said, I just finished recording a single with a bunch of great Nashville guys that played for a lot of people. Garth and Reba and a lot of people in the industry now as well. And it sounds absolutely fantastic. So I'm trying to see if I can push that now, put it on the platforms, Spotify, Apple, and all that stuff.
So you lean towards the country side.
I write country Americana music,
Okay.
and that's the kind
Gotcha.
of stuff. I'm a big fan of guys like that are country but kind of are a little bit outside the box, like Dwight Yoakam, Chris Isaac,
Yeah.
the Mavericks. Who else? There's a lot of bands like that out there. A lot of alternative country that I listen to. Absolutely great stuff that's not on your usual radio top 10, top 40, or whatever. But that's just the route that I take with my music.
Where can people catch this single? Is it out yet? Or?
It's not out yet. We're still like trying to
Okay.
get it. But I do have a social media page. It's under Ted Martin.
Ted
Ted
Martin.
Martin.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ted Torres Martin, but I go into Ted Martin for the original music. So that's
Okay.
they can find me under Ted Martin or over on Facebook. There's a
Okay.
page there somewhere.
Nice. Can't wait to.
Is there anything else you would like to share about yourself that we should let folks know, or are you?
Anything that you want to ask me, I'm an open
Oh,
book, man.
we love talking Elvis with you.
Excuse me.
How many years have you been doing this as a professional ETA?
I've been singing and doing stuff since I was a kid. My parents were in the music industry, so I grew up around it. But the Elvis thing, I started going to like little record conventions. My dad used to take me because I collect vinyl and
Right.
got really into it, hardcore. And I'd say the Elvis thing, I started doing it full time, taking it seriously. Full time, kind of like mid-20s or a little bit before
Wow.
that. Started taking that route, like probably mid-20s. I've been doing this stuff for a while, yeah, quite a couple of years.
Wow.
Well, you do it.
Shows.
Yeah,
it's
it
great.
shows.
Great time.
Again, yesterday's performance, I don't know if we talked about this much, but you did the little acoustical thing with Don't Cry Daddy, and
Yes.
I thought that was beautiful. And everybody around us, our table, the folks at our table were like, that was great.
Thank you.
I'd like to see you do more of that. I think that you know, I think it's you. That's Ted up there, right? Being Ted, just
Thank
doing
you.
what he likes
Picking
to
up a
do.
guitar,
Yeah,
that's really nice.
that's the Ted the musician right there. I usually, in my own shows that I do, I usually have an acoustic segment in my show, so I like doing that.
Last question I'll ask you is
Yeah.
about the ETA world. Where do you see it going? Do you see it changing? Do you see, are the shows changing, or what people are doing in the shows changing, or is it?
It's changed a lot.
Right,
I'm
right.
not gonna lie. It's changed a lot. I've noticed that a lot of guys have their own interpretation of what Elvis should be. They want to, bring in a little something different, and it's changed a lot since I started. It's changed a lot since things were even different for Elvis Week in Memphis, But it's changed a lot. A lot of people try to bring in the younger fans, especially after the movie and everything
Yeah.
like that. I understand that. But the approach that I take, I always try to stay, and some of the other guys still do it as well. There's a big mix of everything. But I try to, as for myself, I try to keep it authentic as I can, as close as I can to what an real Elvis show back in the day was. Not that I ever saw one, but the stories that I hear from friends and from his friends and his family and fans that were there. I love those stories and everything that I've documented in my head and I've watched. I try to keep it as authentic as I can with my show.
Ted, you're doing it right. You're putting a lot of smiles on a lot of faces, making a lot of people happy, and
Thank
you
you.
made us happy watching you.
Thank you so much.
So I wanted to thank you for that, and thank you for the talking to us today. I think we've learned a little bit about Ted today.
Thank you very
This
much.
is what we like to do, and we'll see you again, hopefully.
Yeah, and if they want to, can I give my website out? If they
Please
wanna check me out?
Please do. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, if you guys want to check out my website, I am also on all social media platforms. You can find me under Ted Torres, Torres Martin, Martin, and I'm on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on X. Yeah, and I have my own YouTube channel as well. You guys can go in there and subscribe. And my website is www.revisitedelvis.com. Revisitedelvis.com. You can check me out, and you can find my schedule, shows, the states, all over the country, out of state, you name it.
Highly recommend it.
All right. You are the man. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks for watching,
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
and hit that notification bell.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.